welcomed in this corner TV. I'm James Smith. Fight time has arrived in Mandalay Bay. Miguel Cotto versus Saul Canelo Alvarez on HBO pay-per-view. Much anticipated matchup. Before I weigh in and break it down, here's some of the best fighters on the planet who have their take. If I'm picking the redhead to win the fight, I told him how to win the fight, which is, for me, a simple deal. He gets aggressive. He's first. He uses his combination, and he walks Cotto into that right uppercut. He listened to me. He said he's going to implement that plan. But your thoughts on breaking down the fight? What should both fighters do?
Well, look, I'm actually going to have a talk with Canelo soon in his room, and I'm going to explain to him that he has to walk through fire. He has to walk through fire. I mean, and he's going to get burned, and it's going to hurt. But that's the type of fight that he's gonna experience. This is the type of fight that's going to define him as a fighter, as a person. You know, he has to go in there and slug it out, and right from the start, he has to press the action and do not let him breathe. How many rounds can Miguel Cotto dance around, box around? His legs have to give out at one point or another, whether it's the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th round. You know, Canelo has to be in tip-top shape and press the action right from the start.
I think that Canelo's going to win the fight. I think he's going to stop Cotto, and I think what he must do that is jump right on Miguel Cotto and be aggressive, use his size and his youth and his quick hands, and not let Cotto get comfortable. That's my pick. You can analyze my pick.
Well, I agree with you on what he must do if he's going to pull an upset off like that. But here's the problem. How many times have we seen Canelo Alvarez really get that aggressive like he needs to be and do that?
Not enough.
And put the trigger on and put that pressure on people like that. We haven't seen it. So that's why I'm still up in the air with who's going to win the fight. Because if he came out and jumped right on Cotto, my money would be all on Alvarez. If he had shown me that in the past, I'd be all pro Alvarez. But he hasn't shown me that. So since he hasn't shown me that, well, he has shown me that if he goes out and tries to box Cotto and allows Cotto to mentally get into the fight, he's going to have problems because, to me, Cotto is probably the hardest puncher he ever faced. You understand me? So getting hit with that left hook to the head and that left hook to the body over a 12-round period is going to wear him down just like it wears anybody else down. And not to mention that he fades some anyway.
Yeah, he does.
Which may be why he don't put the pressure on people like that. So we saying, is he going to go out on a limb and try to put pressure on people when he's known as a fader too? That's a lot of gauze.
I'm putting a lot of pressure on him.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying a lot because you tell me that a guy who fades is going to go out and put the pressure on right away knowing that he fades. That's not very smart, is it?
I mean, obviously those that know either fighter, you have, Cotto, who in my opinion is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Cotto can box. Cotto can take it. Cotto can dish it out. Cotto can slug. I mean, he's done everything and probably experienced everything that you can possibly experience in a professional prize fight. He's been there and done that. You have Canelo, who has a lot of experience, but I think Cotto has more experience against top competition. Of course, we all know Canelo last year fought Floyd Mayweather, and he came up short, and I'm sure he learned a lot from that. But it's youth versus experience, and youth has prevailed in the past, and so has experience. So you can't really hang your hat on either one. You have to see who shows up and who executes in the moment under the lights, which is Saturday night.
I would like to see interesting fight, and I hope that this fight will be very interesting because two great fighters and two great boxers, one young, one more
experienced,
more experienced, and Canelo has a big motivation for the title, and I think that Canelo will win this fight, but chaos or not chaos, I don't know. I think so. Score decision, 12 rounds. It will be like more fair for both boxers. It's let's see Saturday night, and we will see a great boxing fight.
Now, I'm picking the redhead to win the fight, but in order for him to win the fight, and I've told him, he didn't listen to me against Floyd, but hopefully he'll listen to me if you're picking him. I told him he needs to jump right on Cotto right away, and he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't do that, but I think he needs to be first in this fight for Canelo to win.
Yeah, I think be first is definitely a key, but it's tough because when you're in there, sometimes game plans are overrated.
Yeah.
I've had, when I fought Edison Miranda, which was my first real test as a young pro, we had a tremendous game plan. But the first round, I get headbutted, and there's blood coming down in my eye, and we didn't plan for that. We didn't talk about that. That's just something we had to fix. So we went to game, plan B, plan C immediately, which was we can't move away. We got to back them up now. And by doing that, which was not part of the game plan, it got his respect, and that allowed me to box Edison Miranda later in the fight. So to say that is to say, that may work, but there's so many ebbs and flows. There's so many little things happening from round to round, and it's so difficult, but that's the beauty of the sport, and that's what people have to understand these days where, the nuances and the small things get bashed in the sport. Even the brawler sets you up. Even they have a game plan, even though it looks like they don't. So there's going to be a lot of that. And there's going to be some good rounds for Cotto, good rounds for Canelo. But at the end of the day, whoever can maintain their composure and execute, again, they're going to represent their country the best and get their hand
Who
raised.
will that be, in your opinion?
Well, of course, I like both guys.
Okay.
I respect Canelo. He's brought a lot to the sport. He continues to bring a lot to the sport. Cotto, his resume speaks for itself, but he's a teammate of mine. He's a stablemate of mine with Rock Nation Sports, our promoter. So I'm here to support him. And I'm pulling for Miguel Cotto, and I think Miguel Cotto can do it. I think he can outbox Canelo, and I think that he has enough of a beard, enough of a tough chin to deal with the rough moments that he may have against Canelo. And Canelo has to be careful because Cotto can punch too. Tremendous left hook artist. So they both have to be careful. It's not no one guy can just disregard defense and go in there and not have a game plan.
Absolutely, the plan that I believe that Canelo is going to execute with some resistance by Cotto. We have to expect that. He's a proud veteran. He's a proud champion. He's a former or future Hall of Famer. When you have all that on the line, I can speak for age, but age won't play a part in this fight. Just what you said will be a factor in this fight. Canelo have graduated from many fights, starting with the Floyd fight. And I believe that watching him in camp, hearing what he says, and understanding that part of life and that time he's at right now where he has to deliver this time. And I see this fight being a stoppage in the 9th or 10th round, and Canelo will be champion.
In terms of this rivalry, you've been a part of it, Mexico, Puerto Rico, it's a tremendous rivalry. Talk about that.
There's a lot of passion involved. You must fight, you must perform. Fans are expecting for you to go out there and go out with your shield, basically. I mean, this fight here, if people can remember, reminds me of Felix Trinidad versus Fernando Vargas. You're going to see 5, 6, 7 knockdowns, a lot of action. People on their edge of their seat, just waiting for more action and cheering on for their best, fighter to win. This is what Mexico versus Puerto Rico is all about, passion.
But with a different outcome than that one, though. It's going to be Mexico winning this one, not Puerto Rico.
I'm hoping my guy wins, but realistically, I wish that the fans are going to be the winners here. I mean, I just want to see a great fight.
What about for Miguel Cotto? What should his strategy be against Alvarez?
Miguel Cotto is the more experienced veteran here. He has the experience on his side, so he has to be smart, go out, take his time because he is 35, pace himself, make the fight his pace. No more than 55 punches around. Make sure he has a high landing percentage like he's had lately. Make sure he remembers to invest to the body. Take Canelo out in that deep water to where he starts to fade at. Once Canelo seems or gets to where he usually starts to fade, you got to pick it up.
Manuel Stewart told me when he was training Cotto that he thought that his left hook was perhaps the best he had ever worked with. That's saying a lot coming from Emmanuel. Your thoughts on where the Cotto left hook ranks in terms of the great fighters you've seen? You're one of them.
Honestly speaking, it's one of the best in the game. But the reason I threw up a 2, because now you're right, it could be the best left hook that Emmanuel ever trained. That could be right. So that's why I say you're right there. But I'm the best hooker in the game by far. I ain't gonna take that from nobody gonna take that from me until I see a better one. I'm the best hooker to ever live when it comes to boxing.
Wait a minute, Joe Frazier just looked down and said, well, what about me, Roy? What about Joe Frazier?
Could he throw 6 of them that either one of them could knock you out? Could he throw 6 of them and either
No,
one of them had
not
a
6
capability?
of them.
And either
He
one of them
didn't
had a
need 6.
capability to knock you out.
Yeah.
He couldn't. So right now, I still got that title. You understand me? Until somebody can throw 6 of them and then crank it up and throw 7 more, and all of them could have knocked you out. No, I'm the best hook in the game. But Cotto is a close second. He and Joe might be right there at that second because he does have a beautiful, picture-perfect left hook. Now, hook to the body, single, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad the second. He got the best hook to the body. That's where I got mine from.
It looks like to me that you're animated and excited for this fight.
Oh, I am. This is a fight you should be animated and excited for because you have 2 guys who want it, that they don't want it, but go around and get it. They want it, they come get it.
And Canelo, very much like you, he doesn't wait around. I mean, it probably wasn't ready for Mayweather, but despite that, he took the damn fight anyway. And I get the feeling that, yeah, like you, he's not going to wait around for a guy. He wants to fight him in there. Probably it seems like he has that spirit about him where the L thing, legacy, means something to him.
It's pride, honor, you know, his dignity. You know, he's a very proud fighter. And yes, he did take Mayweather on too early, and I told him not to, but he's just a fighter that wants it now. He wants it now, and you know, now he's learned his lesson that there's a time for everything, and his career is unfolding, you know, at a fast pace. He just turned 25 years old. He's accomplished so much already. So we strongly feel that that Canelo has a very bright future ahead of himself, but he must win this fight on Saturday night.
So you can see by what the great fighters have to say, they're looking forward to the fight, and everybody thinks it's going to be an excellent matchup from Mandalay Bay. My take, I'm going to go with the youth. I'm going to go with the fresher guy. I'm going to go with Saul Canelo Alvarez. I think that what he needs to do is jump right on Cotto from the get-go. I mean, he needs to be first in this fight and take it to him and make Cotto forget about the past 3 fights under Freddie Roach and make him remember how he looked prior to those fights. I like Canelo with an 8th round stoppage. Should be a great night of action from Mandalay Bay and on HBO pay-per-view. We'll be back with post-fight coverage from Mandalay Bay. Enjoy the fights, everybody.